Hello everybody, thanks for your coming here today. As you know, my name is Linh. I'm the first year student in class English 19. What I want to do now is talking to you about emotional first aid. I believe that my topic is relevant to everybody because emotion plays an important role in our life. I have divided my presentation into three parts. I start out by telling you what emotional first aid is. Then I will move on some reasons why we need to practice emotional first aid. I will end with some idea for practicing emotional first aid. My topic should take about 5 minutes. Please give me your question at the end of my talk. Okay, shall we start with part 1? What is emotional first aid? Have you ever heard the phrase emotional first aid? I'm sure that there are a lot of people who don't know this word. So what does it mean? Okay, as you know, first aid is a process you do to improve your state before it becomes worse. It's the easiest and fastest way you should do to help yourself and anybody. Usually gets you to practicing first aid when you cut your finger, you run a high fever. Emotional first aid has the same meaning. Something you do to improve your emotional state, such as worry, stress, and sadness. Now you know the meaning of emotional first aid. So do you know the reason why we need to practice emotional first aid? Let's move on to part 2. Not only body but also emotion is very important for each person. Being a person helping a soul body and happy life is the goal of anyone. A body getting injured can make you feel comfortable, but when your emotional health is troubled, you can't even do anything. So your emotion needs practicing first aid. If you know the fact that suicide is now the top leading cause of death, you can agree with me that practicing emotional process is really necessary. The chart beside me represents the percentage of some cause of death in Korea. And suicide, as you can see, is the second cause. We must acknowledge what we should do and how to practice emotional first aid. My talk in part 3 will answer this question. In order to practice emotional first aid effectively, you should pay attention to your emotional pain. Whenever you have bad feeling, don't neglect it. You should work for this process and ensure what your state is. The second rule you should remember is to monitor and protect your self-esteem. Self-esteem is like an emotional immune system that buffer you from emotional pain and strengthen your emotional resilience. Imagine anyone has the same state and give her advice. There are also solutions for yourself. Describing negative thought with positive distraction. The best way to do that is distracting yourself by engaging in some tasks that require concentration. Another way to improve your emotional state is finding meaning is lost. If you can find the meaning in loss, you can feel more comfortable, free your emotion. The last solution I want to give you is say sorry when it's really necessary. And apologize is remedy for your worthy feeling. This brings me to the end of my talk. Let me run through some main points. I have tell you what emotional first aid is and why we need practice emotional first aid. I also showcase you some idea for practicing emotional first aid. I hope after my talk you can take more interest in your emotion. Okay, do you have any question? I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for your listening.